Hey team, how we going? It's Kaz from Australia. Give a couple of seconds for this to start. If you're watching the replay, it's fine. We kick off after people start rolling in. This was a live stream. From where? From Australia. I've got a couple of questions to ask on some of the weird stuff going down in the USA on the elections. And I thought, rather than leave it unsaid, give you a chance to chime in yourselves. G'day Diamond Bravo, how you going? Rhinopolis, we've got the Fugly there from Western Australia. We've got Dave D here, Caswell, Guardian of the Galaxy. G'day mate, MSC, great to have yous here and sorry to spring this on yous. But we're still in the witching hour. Decisions are not properly made yet. I smell a rat. G'day Rusty, g'day Rhinopolis. It is the year of the plague, I get it. I don't know if this is going to get us in the shit, speaking our mind. In Australia, we have freedom of speech until you open your mouth. And then it all goes to clag pretty quickly. G'day, Tyler. How you going, mate? Hello, cows and lads. Good to have you here. Well, let's get sort of into it now. And then we'll get on with the yap. Hey, lovely Leah. How you going? It is Kaz. And I am here. Because I think it's fair with so much distraction, so much hyperbole, so much what the hell is going on to our brothers and sisters in the USA where we have great friends. From Australia, they are our ally. I care about them. And I feel like they're being misrepresented. I smell a rat. I can handle losing a game. I've lost many before. But what I can't handle is someone cheating in Monopoly, Snakes and Ladders, poker, or politics. Because these are the trusted people that are meant to be above reproach. Like police, like the FBI, like soldiers who represent a country who are told by family members goodbye reluctantly. I'm not into this, but I understand it's your calling as a soldier, police officer, nurse, fire brigade, paramedic to walk into the flames so that others don't need to. But if we're going to get pushed into flames, and sometimes unnecessarily, then we deserve to be doing it at, the behest of someone we can trust, someone that we know has our heart, in their mind. Hey, Dave, Liam, Leah, Lauren. Hey, Lauren, how you going? Sorry to surprise you here. Tyler, JC. There we go. Point break right there. Guys and gals, I smell a rat. This is not going to be a rant as such. I just thought we need to get on there because it's too late to have an opinion. Monday quarterback saying what you could have done, would have done, should have done. So we're here. It's Kaz and community. From In the Trenches with Kaz. If this is your first time watching here, I don't give a hoot where you come from in the world. It's important you know. I've got Hillary Clinton calling me now. Wait 2 seconds. Hillary, just letting you know it's on loudspeaker, mate, and you're on live.
I'll call back.
Okay, mate. See you after. Her voice is sounding somewhat deep. Guys and gals, I've always been taught that if something ain't broke, don't fix it. And then I look at elections and I think to myself, in Australia, when was the last time someone gave a promise to Australians? I can't remember the last time. And then actually kept it. Maybe John Howard, I'm going to take your guns. And he kept them. I think when we start gauging someone on their personality, on their demeanour, or even the fact with Donald J. Trump, when he came in, when he took the country by the shoulders and shook it and said, guys and gals, listen in, there's better things ahead. Give me a chance, let me bat. If I don't hit a 6, then you can sack me. Have you seen when he came down the escalator and said the promises that he had for the USA? And then amazingly, he actually came through with all of those promises. It feels weird to sack the captain of the ship when the Titanic is going fine. It seems even worse to replace someone and not cooperate with someone when they're doing a bloody better job than what you could yourself. If you can do a better job than me, even when I was in the military, I had no problem you stepping up into a position and giving me advice as subject matter expert on the opinion, the sailing of the ship, the keel of common sense, as you see it. But I don't see that happening now. Let's have just a thought on a couple of things. We've got a guy that came in and the first thing he said is he's not a politician. I agree. Which meant that as a businessman he was able to see, and I'm not being a party side here, I'm being a little bit diplomatic here, and we're going to get to the punch in a minute. He promised a lot. He said what was wrong. He said he could fix it if you gave him a chance, and he tended to fix it. We saw the USMCA, one of the biggest trade deals between Mexico and Canada and US. It came off. He achieved it. He started speaking with North Korea and got them to start speaking to him, which is the closest thing that we've got to what looks like potentially the breaking of a treaty and becoming potentially peace. We're seeing the Western world being elevated and starting to take pride back in their countries by emulating what USA is, make America great again, make Australia great again. It fits with us. We're seeing the second step where they're giving people a chance after jail to have a crack at having another life after they've learnt where they don't want to go again. Hey, Joel Hudson, how you going, mate? Did you say, I thought it said the voice of Pepsi. We're going to throw this one out to you right away, mate. I'll chuck you something different. Here you go. This is all for you, Josh Hudson, for becoming a member of In the Trenches with Kaz. This is for you. Thank you very much, sir. Let's see if anyone else feels like joining us now. Now, we saw the second step. What we saw was the right to try, which meant experimental drugs for so many years, big pharma, who are preventing you from trying things because they're still in trial. All of the walls broken down. Give us a chance. And he let people and save lives. What else is there? The security of the country. Okay, he brought also, Baby Jesus, just subscribe. Thank you, Baby Jesus. I'll take the Lord any day of the week. Good to have you here. Thank you. Common sense prevails. Can we get some hands and thumbs up, thumbs of colour, if you will, in the chat to say thank you and welcome to Josh Hudson. Also to Baby Jesus. If you're not religious, come on, lend a hand. Let's change the title, shall we? Bam. So here we are. What was I talking about? So secure borders. Okay, Mexico's got secure borders too. You know, everyone that's rich that's telling you how to think, they tend to be in a gated community. Funny that. What else was there? Right to try. We've got the Israel is now talking to Arab nations. We've got Serbia talking with Croatia. We've got Russia talking to USA. Okay, we've got China being held in a position that they respect. Okay, and now trade has begun with the tariffs that also allow America to be compensated for what they do in return. We've seen industry come back to Michigan, right, allowing car industries through Mr. Abe, Shinzo Abe from Japan, bringing industry back. We're just seeing so much. It just feels like a good time, and it was starting to spread around the world. And then when the election started, and we saw the love in people's faces for their own country, something that I thought had disappeared and only shows up again for the elections. As an Australian, I'm used to seeing the USA lead from the front in sports, in patriotism, in love for their country, and love for each other. Represent. You know, and then Australia trying their hardest as a small nation to stand up and fight against them in the Olympics, to stand beside them on operations with New Zealand, Canada, bloody India, UK, and all the other great people of the coalition of the willing. And I think to myself, there's nothing wrong with it. Everything's going well. 33.1% increase, okay, in their GDP, their economy in the last 3 months, 696,000 new jobs last month, the fight back, the bounce back from this 2020 perfect vision, it felt like it was on track. And this election felt like slam dunk. And then all of a sudden we see figures starting coming in. And we already know that when you can only get 10 people to turn up to your rally, Jesus, the one thing we had with Donald J. Trump, and I'm not American, you can tell by the accent, but I do care a lot for the Gold Star mothers, and I care a lot for my veteran brothers. All right, what I care about is that we had the closest thing to peace on earth that I can remember in this lifetime, where no one was going to fight, where people are all getting brought home, where we can start to rely on the problems within, domestically within our lands. Maybe they were promises that should have been made by Donald J. Trump. Or maybe it doesn't matter what he done, because maybe he's not actually being beaten legitimately. I smell a rat. It doesn't make sense to take seats of the House, to retain the Senate, to have rallies of more than 50,000, to have the heartbeat of happiness within the towns, the cities, the counties, the country. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. There's two things. If you're a Trump supporter, a Republican supporter, because I vote for America. I'm not voting for Trump, and I'm not voting for Biden. I'm voting for America and common sense to prevail. Don't expect a white knight to come rolling in. I think there's a lot of rats inside the Republican Party too. I think you're getting sold out, people of USA. None of this makes sense. Your vote doesn't seem to matter. The famous quote is, it's who counts the votes that matters. That's what I see. Apologise for that one. Apologise for that one. There's something that really startled me. And that was when I started to see the polling booths close during an election. And then all of a sudden the count jackknifes and becomes 90 degrees. What also doubled up in Philadelphia was when we saw this. People holding up signs. These are all Democrat, blocking visual of the counting booths from the Republicans and kicking Republicans out by force. What are they doing? Where's the transparency? Would you still vote for your elected official if you knew he was going to cheat? You wouldn't. You want your country to be fair and free, because the last thing you want is potential civil war, the breakdown, the split between families, not caused by each other, but caused by indecision. You don't want that. This is not a vote anymore about who you want in charge of the country. This is big tech. This is things like Google, Facebook, Twitter, working in cohesion with big stream media that we don't watch anymore to tell you who is going to be your candidate, whether you like it or not, despite the fact you're going to inject someone who can't do the job as well. If someone gets in, if Biden gets in the next month, what the hell is going to happen? What is going to happen when that phone rings off tap? With people all over the world asking him for solutions, asking if deals are done. Does he even have the nous to be able to answer their questions? Or is he going to be a puppet? Is he going to be the surrogate for someone else? Is the tail wagging the dog? I don't know. We're going to see real soon. But this is not over. It's not over by a long shot, I don't think. And if I was a Biden supporter or a Democrat in the USA, I wouldn't be too excited at the moment either, because I think at the moment your country was as good as it could be. It was a fantastic thing to start handing your children, your grandchildren. You were starting to get on top of things. And I can't see that's going to happen now, because it feels like there is going to be the pressure to do the opposite, the bipolar version of everything you have been doing for the last 4 years. We always say in everything, don't bully someone, yet a sustained ongoing attack has happened against your Republican Party that's unforgivable. If you lose an election, then you should be saying for the next 4 years, I am going to assist you on common ground to make this country as good as you possibly can, so that when we win, okay, and we do it legitimately, I inherit something that is fantastic. And if we do that, that means the country is always getting better and better and better. And that's the best you can aim for. And that's how you get people proud. That's how you get people patriotic. That's how you make people work hard. And that's how you make people better parents of great children. And that's investing in the future. And that's a win-win-win. Nicole, Trump has never had his toes into politics. He's a businessman, and that's what they needed. And he has proven he's a good one. As POTUS, he ran the country as a businessman and ensured its cogs kept turning well. I totally agree. And I tell you what, guys and gals, this is something that you should be able to have a Democrat in here right now, or a Republican, and someone who's a centralist. And this is the one thing that we should all be agreeing on. They need to go back to every single one of these states, and they need to get an independent body to go in there, and they need to do a recount on every single vote. They need to determine which ones are in, which ones aren't, and even do a search maybe for a week to find the discarded ones, like they found discarded veterans and military ballots that have been discarded that were going for Trump. The rumours are going around about Sharpies being supplied to those that were wearing the MAGA and the red. And then them ballots being discounted because he used a Sharpie while ballpoint pens were going out to blue. It's crazy. You don't want to win, you don't want to cheat, and you should not need to cheat. Because if you can win the heart of the people, they have common sense, they care about their children. What's going to happen to people's 401ks? What's going to happen to the Dow Jones? What is going to happen to industry? What is going to happen to every handshake that was a success, a great thing for the USA? Is it still valid? Are the promises going to still be delivered? Or are we going to see the dark winter that has been promised by Biden? I don't believe he's been voted in. I believe this honestly was a clean slate re-election of the Commander-in-Chief that I think has been stolen from his grasp. And at the moment, he has everyone, including what seems like 7, 9 and 10 from Australia, also on his back, trying to keep the information down and prevent people, from having a crack, having a go, shaping their country. I hope Trump pulls back, though I got a $25 on him winning. Sad boy. There you go. A bet's a bet. Dave D. Sharpies have rights too. They do. The age of most of the troublemakers, they are young kids attending uni, etc. Yep, and we do change the way we think a lot as we get older. We do. I agree 100%, but I can't see Democrats being happy with an independent recount. Well, I'm going to make myself look wiser here. I absolutely agree with you there, Daniel Cherry. I agree with you. And my fear is that some people want to win no matter what the cost is. But once they see what the cost is, holy shit, it's too late to pull it back and say, we need a hero, because you already had one. In my life as a military guy, I know that I'm always a representation of a government. I want to know when the glass breaks, when they can't make a deal, when everything breaks down, when the scream of the night happens, when we are sent to go and fix the mess, that we can put our hand in the air, oath or affirmation on the Queen or the Bible, and we can say that we are being led by someone who will bring us back safely. And if they don't bring us back safely, we come back on the shield that we didn't die for nothing. And I don't know what's going to happen to all of the patriotic law enforcement, military, all those first line defenders of a nation in the USA if they don't believe that they are being represented by someone who is part of a conglomerate that stole a vote. It's not in the USA. It's not in the USA's way. Sad boy. I hate the way the news portrays Trump. He's not as stupid. Look, the one thing about being Australian that we love is we love the underdog. And when you see someone getting an unfair treatment, it pisses us off. And when we smell a rat and a double standard, that also pisses us off. And that is in abundance at the moment. How is it that a state like Philadelphia can actually be given the right to have votes posted in where the signature doesn't even match the person who's enrolled to that name. And that go for 3 days. How can they say no to a count 700,000 votes ahead, then all of a sudden, people holding up things where you can't see what's going on behind those doors, they suddenly catch up 700,000 like a Zyrtec. Again, barring access from anyone seeing. I'd love to see an FBI agent walk in and grab, we'll call him Bruce, just randomly, someone holding up the table and go, come with me, son. You can come and explain to me, understanding it's a federal crime to hinder an election or tamper with anything from the US postal system. And you're going to be in big trouble if you can't answer the question. Who told you to put the table up? Or was it your idea? And why were you doing it? This is meant to be about transparency. This is the most powerful country in the world, which is going to make some people willing to cheat. I can't understand it. Kaz, have you heard about the watermark sting operation? Yeah, mate, and that's what I'm talking about. We don't know for sure. We just don't know whether that's hyperbole, mate. I hope it's true. What he's talking about there is there's rumours going around that the ballots are actually watermarked by the agency that makes them, so that if you actually have created false ballots, that they'll be able to tell that was printed out, fabricated, fugazi, for those that have seen, what's his name? Help us out here. The Fugazi. What's the movie? Donnie Brasco. And if they can go in there and check that out, it'll be very bloody interesting. Lauren, you got timed out for answering my question. Out for answering your question? I'm not sure what's going on there. Retro, enjoy. JC, you know, you've got to support the team, and we do, but we want the best team, especially it looks after us while we're sleeping. Ivan, g'day Rusky, how you going, mate? As a Russian-born man who's seen real political corruption and voter fraud, I call bullshit on the United States election. Trump won by votes, then millions of votes came out of nowhere. It's fraudulent. It looks that way. Okay, sad boy. They act like he's crazy for even suggesting there is a voter fraud going on. I think it's actually happened before. Look, it's so goddamn obvious. You know, it is. It's obvious. And maybe this is one of those cases like when you watch sports from the sideline, you're yelling out, the ref, you're one-sided, and the other side is yelling it out on the next set of tackles. Maybe. Jay, lots of love, JC. Rugby union is no longer classed as a sport here in Australia, mate. Private schools. All Blacks game has started. See your team, be safe. I thought you were Australian, JC. You get paid by Australia. You got to lose that jersey. Leah, JC, let us know who wins. Who wins? You wanted to crack on with Westside. That'd be a mistake. Lauren, Westside, not cerebral palsy. Jay, hey, see ya. Leah, Ivan, I agree. They've got a gentleman that was on today. For those that are wondering, who do I listen to? In case you're going, well, where are you coming from, Kaz? Who do you listen to? Okay, I listen to independent journalism. I love Joshua Phillips. I think that's a fantastic channel. I like Sticks and Hammer. Okay, he tends to be extremely down the line, non-partisan, doesn't live in the US. I like Dr. Thurley. I like, I love The Five, even Juan sometimes. Who else would I listen to? Shit. Right Side Broadcasting, I think, do a fantastic job. Fantastic. Who else do I like? I even think that Stephen Crowder done a great job. Yeah, I think he done a very good job. But then he got a little bit too drunk drinking whiskey as they were going through it. Jeez, there's shitloads of people I listen to. Now, I don't get all my information from one source, and I back it up with life experience, gut feeling, and the friends that I have in the USA. Jay, Saturday seems the day that all the Muppets are out. They're on the beverage. Because he was incredibly rude to Kaz, in case you folks forgot it's Kaz's channel, I didn't see what he wrote. I wonder what's going to happen. I just wonder what's going to happen. Whack-a-mole day. Retro Gaming, g'day, mate. Didn't even know it was Saturday. We sort of lost track, haven't we? Ivan, I still don't get... he somehow got millions more votes, more than Obama back in 2008. He was a historical candidate. How come a man with a clear dementia gets more votes than favourable man like Barack Obama? I think what happened, mate, is they're voting for the Democratic Party despite the fact that it's a ship with holes in it, okay, with no captain to stand at the tiller. It's crazy. PK says, Kaz, I still think President Trump will win. So do I. I don't know how, but I've got this feeling he's going to. Amazing how a dump of Biden votes turns up at 4 a.m. Trump 2020. 6-3 Yankee. I got Muppet arms. JP. A man, a few words right there. Rusty. You can't beat Tim Pool for news. Tim is good too. Tim is good. Yep. That's another one I listen to, mate. Lauren is shining. You should listen to Right Side Broadcasting. It's pretty good too, mate. Sticks and Hammer, fantastic. Thurley, good. Joshua Phillips, fantastic. Jay Hayes, lots of JP, fake news. What does everyone reckon? Do you realise how much this is going to affect Australia as well? Do you think this won't affect Australia if Trump loses this election? We are pretty close to the US's strongest and most faithful ally, but that was also connected to 45's, stance on things. Coalition partner of the willing. It can affect us big time. How do you explain Trump votes? How do you explain Trump votes being cheated? I don't actually understand that question, mate. Guys and gals, like I say, I reckon it would affect Australia a lot. It would, Leah. It definitely would. How? We're yet to see. But let's just say that China is a friend of Biden, not the friend of Trump. China is not happy with us the way we stood with Trump. Right. Current members. Do you think a military conflict with China is soon on the horizon? No. Involving Australia or the US? Definitely not with the US. Consequence of COVID, US elections. I think that the whole cover-up of the 19 was deliberately about in the USA because even the WHO said there's no need for lockdowns anymore. This was all about postal ballots. There was a reason why several years ago, the Democratic Party was saying, do you think he will walk out of office when he loses? It's like they knew the fix was in. I believe maybe the fix was in. I think it is in. But at the moment, I think they went too hard, too early, couldn't keep a secret, and they're being caught out. I don't know if there's enough patriots on Donald Trump's side to be able to help him through this. That's the problem. Will it affect New Zealand? No. New Zealand is basically broken away from Australia, mate.